Welcome back to day 3 of the 30-day challenge. No money, no credit, no excuses. This challenge, over the last 2 days, we've really laid the foundations and we started to take initial steps on mindset and how to prepare yourself, get into that cheetah stance, right? But here's the truth also. The truth is we need to start taking these small actions and we have to start to take bold moves forward. So some of the uncomfortable things. We've been doing things that are pretty comfortable, right? But now you're going to actually have to put yourself in that place. So in order to do that, you have to be able to rewrite your story and you have to find your why. I talked about this in the last video is why are you doing this, right? And if you're really committed to doing this, that means as we start to take action, you need to do it. Don't delay, right? It might not be comfortable for you to look and call brokers, right? To have those conversations. But I promise you, it gets so much easier. It's always the first couple. And also the thought of doing the callings is actually tougher than actually calling. So you got to set aside the time tomorrow. This is the homework assignment today is that we're going to do that. And I'm actually going to film myself doing some of that tomorrow. But at the end of these 30-day challenge, whether or not you purchase real estate or not, this is really a conversation of changing your mindset. By the end of this, I want you to actually believe that you can do all this. What we're setting up, the way that we're doing this real estate challenge, and we're doing it with no money, no credit, this is the foundation of how you can scale bigger, right? So somebody had asked me, should I do this property or should I do the one that I really want to do in another country and all that? I'm like, it's all really the same thing. Right? If you're not using your money, what does it really matter? And I realized that I didn't create a script for this 30 days, right? This is why it's a 30-day challenge you guys are doing with me. That means it needs to also be interactive. So what I really, really would like to see too is questions, okay? In the community chat, when we go to the school community, in the chats, just ask questions. When we go to the school community, actually, when we go to the classroom, when we go to 30-day challenge, here, you can ask questions. Ask questions in the comments so I can read it and I can answer it the next day. It's going to be very interactive. So I see a lot of people, you're like, okay, great, let's go, let's do this. And some great comments, but I want you guys to also ask questions. What is in the way of you taking action? So let's see what some of the comments here are. Okay, so what's the best link to invite people? That's great. See, these are just kind of like motivational the first 2 days. But we're going to get into it because you need to start to identify the market. You got to learn the market that you're going to be buying in, right? And you got to call the brokers. You got to talk to the property managers. You got to start networking and figuring out all the steps that you need. So when we purchase a real estate deal with no money, no credit, basically what you need to do is you're basically raising capital. You need to find money and you need to find the finances. So there's a couple ways to do this. One, I mentioned yesterday, if you make a list of 100 people and you talk to 100 people and you're a beginner, let's just say you close 1%, right? That means it takes 100 people to get your deal done. So what would it take for you? What would it take for you to say, I am truly ready to do this. I'm going to call all these people. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing in the real estate space, finding a deal, all of that. And if I find a great deal, would you want to invest in it? Right? So something along the lines of that. Probably a couple more days down the road, we're really going to talk to how you're going to speak to people about that. But what I want you to do is start to be really familiar with one, the market that you're going to invest in, the type of property you're going to buy, and what type of returns are they going to be, right? So we're going to learn some underwriting. We're going to learn all of these things. These are all to come. All right, but I want to take it step by step because I know that even when I mentioned yesterday that I called the broker, somebody was like, wait, how did you even find the broker? All right, so we'll start with that question because that question was asked of me today. How do I find the broker? Right, and also I wanted to say that, I apologize that these videos come a little bit late. I didn't realize that doing the challenge, it actually requires me to prepare some worksheets, to prepare for the call here today, have conversations with people that are doing the challenge throughout the day. So I want you guys to put the questions in the chat, in the comments. That way I can read them over before I prepare for the next call, right? Because I really, really want to serve you guys. I want to help you guys wherever you're stuck. That's what we need to address. And sometimes I may move too fast because really for me, when I think about this, I feel like I could get it done in a couple days. So one is you got to identify the property. You got to figure all that out. Two, I promise you, inside our community, if you go to our WhatsApp, this is the Rookie Roundtable WhatsApp, there are 286 people in here right now, and they'll continue to grow every single week. I guarantee there are people in here that, one, are real estate brokers. Okay, so I see right here already, licensed Florida, eXp Realty, right? And I had told Crystal, I was like, ask for referrals. Referrals are better than finding cold leads. The other way to find brokers, which is the cold leads, is you go on sites like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, and I'll just go to one right now and I'll show you guys what I mean. So let's go to Realtor.com, right? And if you look at any property, browse homes in Las Vegas, let's just click on new listing, right? And oh wow, there's actually it's a condo for sale, but let's say we wanted to buy a house. So let's just say this house right here, $362,000. There are brokers listed. Let me see, where is it? Usually there are brokers listed. Some of these you might have to just like request. So like email agent. Somebody's going to call you from here. But if you want to really just find someone that you want to work with, post on your Facebook, right? Post on your Facebook. Does anyone know a real estate agent that I can work with, or somebody that works with investors in the Las Vegas area? Okay, so somebody will reach out to you, right? Or just go into our community, go into the Rookie Roundtable community and post it. Ask the question, is there a broker in Florida? See somebody, yes, I know the broker in Florida. See, like this is how you get the most out of this community. And I promise you, there are people here that have deals. People that have deals need money. Right? So you're bringing the money. If you can just connect the money to the deal, you actually remove yourself from a lot of the work, and you just say, hey, I got a operating agreement here. I'll bring the money. You cut me in 10, 15%, something like that, and I'll bring the person to you. Let's create that together, because what you really need in getting a deal done here in the 30 days is, one, you need a deal. Two, you need the money. The finances, right? The finance and the money together in one, and you need somebody that's going to operate and run it. So those are you got to pick which one you're going to be. If you have the money, this 30-day challenge will be easy, semi-easy. If you have the deal, also this challenge may be a little bit easy too, because you got one of those steps. All you need to do is put the rest together. All right, so understand that when we put these deals together, it's about finding the right people, finding the right stuff, the right pieces of the puzzle that you have to put together. So this call, I want you guys to start to think about the market that you want to invest in. So for me, it's Las Vegas. It's in my backyard. I know all the streets. I know where it's good, where it's bad. What I'm going to end up doing is I will call a broker, right? I will call a broker. I'll call an agent. I'll call an agent, and I'll ask an agent a bunch of questions, which I actually created a list of questions that will be linked in the description for you guys, and it looks like this, right? So I highlighted the ones in red. These are the ones that I ask. I'll ask, what's the market like right now? See, you're just extracting information. You're analyzing the market. You're analyzing the property. So as you're extracting the information, you got to make these calls. You got to talk to the person. Okay, if you know the area, when the agent is telling you things, you'll be able to align that to what you know, and you'll be like, okay, that makes sense. I like that. Let's start focusing over there. You can ask questions like, is it right now like a buyer or a seller's market? Turn some of these into your own words. I try to make some of them like easier, like what's the market like right now, And the other one that I always like to ask is I want to know their opinion on what they think is driving this real estate market. Why should I buy here? Right? Is it job growth? Is it population trend? Like what's going on? Why should we buy here? So I know for Las Vegas right now, everywhere they're going to tell you it's the sports, right? You got MLB coming here. You got NBA team expansion coming here. You have entertainment. You got Warner Brothers and Disney and Sony all coming here with their headquarters. And you have Californians all migrating to Vegas. So I think it was U-Haul I think it was U-Haul.com. U-Haul had came out with a statistic that Vegas is actually the number one migrated to city. which was interesting. And they've been in the top 4 or 5 for a long time. So these are all things that you can just simply Google and find some of these answers, at least get a good frame of reference, right? And when you're talking to the agent, the first agent obviously is just get as much information as you can. I call it like you're mapping out what you're learning in your market. And you want to call a second one. You want to get a second opinion. You want to get a third opinion, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different opinions, so you can get a really clear understanding of what you're buying into. This question I always love because I want to know their opinions on this part. What neighborhoods and areas are up and coming? Because I don't really want to buy the most expensive thing. Most expensive things usually are not cash flowing and they're not going to give you the greatest returns. They're kind of a place to park money. But if you're an investor and you want to make money, where cash flow and all that exists is right outside of the area that you really like, right? So the up and coming areas for investors. And then you can ask like, what neighborhoods are you seeing the greatest increase in value, right? In value, what neighborhoods do you see the least amount? I'll put it in here at the end of this too. I'll put lowest vacancies, right? So you want it to be rented up. And then you also want to find out what areas do you want to avoid as an investor. Okay, so I put the ones in red. You always want to see if the agent is also someone that works with other investors, right? You're also gauging the agent to see if they're experienced or not. Do they work with investors or do they work with one-time buyers? Because if they only work with one-time buyers, they probably don't sell that many homes either. So you want to work with investors who are experienced with what investors are looking for. Flips, buy and hold, wholesale, if they have experience in any of these areas. Other of these questions are just good for you to know, to kind of ask if it relates to your market. But the more you talk to these agents, the more you're going to get information, right? And you want to here's the thing. As a beginner, it's important to use your beginner, like just be authentic and transparent about where you're at. I have some investors, I have some money. We're looking to invest in this area. I'm new to this area. I've never bought anything here. You don't have to say you never bought anything, period. We haven't bought anything here, and we're just looking to see if there's anything that's worth buying or if it's the right time to buy right now. So what do you think about that? Right? So you're not lying to the agent, but you're having a conversation where now they're taking you more seriously. You always want to get to that place, taking it more seriously. Hey, I have a couple investors, right? And I have some money, and I want to buy something here. It's got to be a property. We really want to get at least 3 or 4 of these properties in 2025. See, you're playing towards what intrigues the agent, which is not only can I possibly get one deal done, I can get 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 this year with this guy or this girl, right? So that always supports in the conversations. I tell brokers and agents all the time, I'm like, this is how many deals I've done. I'm interested in creating long-term relationship, right? Maybe I should write that somewhere in here too to frame it. So I'll put some more things in this thing for you guys. Let's just put up here like opening introduction. You control the narrative. It is very important that you control the narrative. Now, they might be able to sense that you're completely brand new, but that is okay because you need to get where you need to get to. These are the obstacles that are in the way. The other ones that I really like is I want to know what they think about the market in the past. How did the market do over the last 6 months to a year? Okay, and then do you see any other developments? Like what's anything happening in this market that you think can change the market? They might say, oh, well, there's a shopping mall being built over here. There's a multifamily 400 unit being built here. If there's is this a big apartment building being built right there? Use logic for a second, right? What does that do to the rental market when 400 units come online? There's gonna be that absorption period, and they're definitely, if they're building it, they're gonna come out with some concessions that you cannot compete with. You're just gonna have to wait till they fill up, and then you can ask, what do you think is gonna happen in the next 1 to 5 years? Where should I invest in that time? And this is what I really believe is the difference between how some people speak to agents versus when I do. is I always ask for recommendations and referrals. Is there a property management company? I'm not going to manage it. I'm looking for some property management companies that can manage it for me as well. They might just say, hey, we do management as well. Okay, cool. So what does that look like? And just ask around. And then the other thing that I like to ask is, would you mind sending me some reports, comps, anything like that? They'll probably just usually put you on a list, but they may take you seriously enough to spend the time and create some comps and send it to you. This is about building rapport. It's about building relationships, right? So you got to get that skill on. That skill will transfer to everything else as well. Okay, so that's really, I'm going to give this to you guys. Just know that this is a pretty raw version, right? We're going to continue to make it better as you guys give feedback. We're doing this together, remember. So this is a team game, and the purpose of doing this challenge and filming it every day is so that new people are going to be able to come and just watch this and be able to follow along and get some deals done, right? And perhaps somebody's watching like 3 videos at the same time, day 1 to 5, all at the same time. But that's okay. Right now, we're going through it together, and I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. Okay. What I also am going to be doing tomorrow, so a couple of things I'm going to do tomorrow. Call brokers tomorrow. All right. I want you to call at least 3 brokers tomorrow. Learn about your market. Okay. Ask some of these questions. Prepare yourself. This is only going to take you like 30 minutes. I mean, if you build a great relationship, it might take you longer. I would suggest that you try to build rapport. So give yourself some time to make the calls. I want to see you guys reaching out to the people in the community. Who knows an agent here? Who knows an agent there? Whatever it is. Okay, we'll talk about lenders and we'll talk about those things a little bit later. We're not there. Right now, it's about getting your target down. Because what you're going to come out, the goal for you to come out of this day 3 is you want to be more clear. Every day you should create more clarity. 1, about yourself. 2, you want to have your belief systems be shifted that you can do this. I know it's challenging. I know because you have no evidence to draw it from, you might say, I still don't believe I can do it. But do the little things, do all these things I'm telling you to do, and as you're completing step by step by step, I promise you, those little things stacking up day by day is going to have you feel more confident, and your beliefs about whether you can do it or not will change. Okay, so you want to get super clear. You want to get super clear on what type of properties I'm looking at. What neighborhood am I looking at? You want to just kind of narrow down, right? First, it's like this floodlight. Let's say it's Vegas, like boom, it's a floodlight in Vegas. I got all of this Vegas. I don't know what to do. After I talked to the agent for a while, she talked about different areas, different, neighborhoods. And I'm like, okay, well, I like that one. I like that one. And just kind of circle it, and open a map of your area and pick out those areas. Go on to realtor.com. Just start to familiarize with yourself. This is all for research purposes before you even really talk to a broker too. So if we go to Las Vegas, I go to map view. This is, by the time you're done with the broker, you should know, look how many houses are for sale, and they range from all different things. Because you may find after you speak to the realtor that, I think I have to stay under $350,000 to make it work. And there's a bunch. Right? This just happens to still be a market that's affordable. It's not just all 600,000 and up. And even if it is, we're going to learn some underwriting so you'll know what you can afford and what makes sense. What is going to cash flow? So let's just say, I'm like, yeah, I really like this Spring Valley area. Let me just look here a little bit more. All right, a ton of properties for sale here. And you know what's crazy? All these properties that are for sale here, these new properties, they're reaching. Okay, a lot of them are reaching because interest rates didn't come down much. They're reaching because an agent told them now is a good time to sell, right? It's 2025. It's a new time to sell. So just start looking, right? Looking at these, and you can start to just do mental evaluations of a deal. And, I would do something as simple as let's click on this $364,000 property. Wow, that's a little 3-bedroom, 2-bath. only 1185 square foot. This is pretty, I mean, it's pretty expensive. However, you go down, it's a 3-bedroom. How much does this rent for? Right? Once you start to collect this information more, you're going to call another agent, and the agent's going to, and you're going to say, hey, what's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1185 go for? You can actually just go to rent. All right. I would do some of my own due diligence before I talk to an agent. That way you sound a little bit smarter. So let's just say 3-bedroom, 1-bath, or a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1185. Okay. We go to, so down here, they actually give you this like calculator. Awesome. Look at this. You can actually do a little calculator down here on this site, which they tell you what your down payment's going to be, what the closing cost looks like, total due at closing, $87,576. And your payment per month is $2,113. So does this property generate more income than $2,100, right? A 3-2 house. I believe it probably could. So then let's go to rent, right? We'll go to rent. We'll go back to Vegas, view all listings in Las Vegas. Let's go back to the map, all right? And then we're in the Spring Valley area. Oh, right. So maybe it doesn't, right? Maybe you're seeing some of these properties like 2200 is really the average rents. But you can also go up here and go to 3-bedroom, 2-bath, right? And now you're seeing, wow, this 4-bedroom, 3-bath going for $1,750. This is how you study. This is how you study. This is basically, I guess, comparable to that one, 3-2-1106. Right, they're renting for $1,995. So it's not really going to work at 3. If you're gonna rent, if you're gonna buy one of these, it's not really gonna work at $320,000 or $340,000, whatever that was. Okay, but now you know. Now you know in this area that's not gonna work. So when you talk to an agent, see, as you're talking to an agent now, you're more knowledgeable. What's a good area to rent? Where can I cash flow well? And they're going to tell you, like, oh, well, you can buy this for $350,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and that's a good, you're going to cash flow decently. And you'll be like, well, I see a lot of properties there renting for under $1,800. My mortgage is going to be like $2,200. How does that work for me? See, that's good. That's a good thing to ask an agent, to talk to an agent like that, because then they're going to say, all right, this person's actually knowledgeable. And you should also figure out how much, right? And I'll give you guys a calculator at some point too. But when we go back to buy, right, let's just go back. See if we can hit the back button. I haven't used Realtor.com in a long time, but let's go back to Vegas. We go to the map. We go down to that Spring Valley area. Okay, I know $340,000 is not going to work. So what if I put my price range in here? When I started to buy real estate, I spent so much time on this page. This is my due diligence. If I didn't, I can talk to a broker, make it easier and faster, but I also want to verify what they're saying. I want to be knowledgeable when I go talk. All right, so this was that 3-2, 364. It doesn't work. It's not going to get there. So what will work, right? Okay, 265. 3-2 just seems to be in the 300s, but this one is a condo. 309 is a condo. Okay, here's a 3-2. Here's a 3-2. Wait, mobile house. Okay, so this is a mobile house. I don't know what that's going to rent for, but I'm curious. I'm curious. Look at this thing. It's actually kind of nice. You want to be able to make positive on this, because your monthly is $1,750 on this one. So you see how it's actually really challenging to find something because interest rates are at 7%. So you may have to do some creative financing, and we'll talk definitely more about that as I navigate to buy a property. You guys will see me doing a lot of this. Okay, you guys will see me doing a lot of this. This is exactly what I'm doing to analyze and to learn deals, to learn about the area. What can I buy? Because at some point I'm going to pinpoint in. I'm going to realize, okay, I need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Obviously is not working. Okay, I don't want to target that group. Maybe what I want to target is something with more bedrooms. Okay, because I think more bedrooms is better. So let's go to, I want a minimum of 4 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. What's that look like? Ooh, now we're down to like very little. See, in this Spring Valley, you're taking that floodlight and you're turning it into a laser. Right now, some of these are very expensive. That also does not mean they're not a good property, right? When I look at this property, $6.5 million. Okay, yeah, There's probably a way to make that cash flow well also. And then look, this one's in foreclosure. This person, whoever bought it or built it, obviously was very ambitious, right? Wow, 19 million. See, it's cool just to look at these too, right? Because this is also, it's fun to see what's around. But all right, what is this? This is already pending, you know, because somebody else is already looking at it. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 245,000. You could probably buy this thing with your eyes closed. But this is the thing. The thing is, you want to find your target. Once you find your target, you're going to be stalking all of this area for new ones to come, because most of these are probably no good. Otherwise, it would have been bought already. But the new ones coming, they're trying to price to sell, right? The ones that are pricing to sell. I want to get super familiar with what that is. So this one, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 488,000. And you guys, it might be boring just to kind of watch what I'm doing, but I'm going to spend hours and hours doing this, and you need to be committed to that level if you want to get a deal done, because this is the learning phase, right? As you learn, as you get this part, when you get this part done, buying the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th property is going to require a lot less time because you already know. All right, so you want to put in the work and really learn what this is. So let's, and then you just start like playing with it. I'm going to go max 400,000. Is there even anything here? There's that one. Okay, so then let's go a little bit higher. Obviously, if anything is priced around that price, all right, here we go. Now we know that 4-bedroom, 3-bath, basically the lowest you're going to find is $500,000. That's good to know. So this property, we're just going to say, all right, well, $500,000, 2926. You see, the other one was what, 2100? This is only an extra $800 for double the space, 4-bedroom, 3 baths. Is this what I'm going to be getting? Right? So let me just open up another one. I'll just start kind of comparing. Oh, not rent. Realtor.com. I'm going to go to rent. Go back to that area. Why does it keep taking me over there? I want to be in Spring Valley. Oh, I am in Spring Valley. But I'm going to look for 4-bedroom, 3-bath. What are we seeing for rent? At least it's closer, right? At least it's closer. The one that we saw was what, 2,300 square feet? All right, so this is basically like that property. Get 2,650, 2926. So we're still not in the positive. It's a little bit challenging to find the right ones. Now, this is on first go, right? Because we can also start to see what other ways in which we can get a deal done. Because maybe, just maybe, as we're doing the research here, we find something that can be arbitraged, right? So this seems extremely cheap for the location of this, or 4-bedroom, 3-bath. I think I can make a delta on this thing, right? If you can make a delta on this thing, perhaps you do a lease to own, perhaps you do a seller finance, perhaps you rent it and you do some sort of pad split. I'm not sure if Airbnbs aren't really going well here, but because of all the restrictions and regulations, but in your area there might be. So you got to look at your strategy of what you want to do, and you want to start asking other people too. Right? So this is a pretty long video, but I just want to show you guys that's what it takes to do the due diligence. And you got to start with where your area. Okay? You got to follow the money, you got to research. You have to research where other investors are buying. That means you got to be a part of real estate groups. You got to start being, now you join these meetups and with purpose. When you come to our Monday Night Rookie Roundtable, you want to come with purpose. You're networking. You're looking for money, and you're networking with people for deals. You're looking for knowledge so that you can move forward. Everything you're absorbing with purpose now. All right, so in these 30-day challenge, this is getting you started, because perhaps you don't buy a property, but sure as hell when this is done, you are going to do everything with purpose. You're going to talk to people with purpose. You're going to attend events and stuff with purpose, because most people walk around just completely lost and they just get pulled into anything. You want to know your yeses and your nos. Right? Your yes is only as powerful as how many no's you say, the number of no's you say. The takeaways, right? So we're starting broad, and then we're going to narrow down. And you're going to find your criteria. This is where I'm going to ask the agent. I'm going to ask what, based on my little tiny research I just did right now. I haven't bought a residential property in years. So I'm going to ask the agent, how can I buy? What is a deal that I can buy right now? I am an investor. I need cash flow on my deal. How do I make it happen here in this market? And if this agent doesn't give me a good answer, I'm calling another one, right? Because at this point, I'm very laser focused on what I'm asking now. The first is just a little bit of an interview of the market and all of that. And at the end of that conversation, you just say, hey, I'm going to go back, do some due diligence. If I have some questions, can I contact you? What is the best way to communicate with you directly? That's what you want. Most of the times, real estate agents are very generous with giving their phone numbers away. All right, but you might find some really high-end ones that will not give you their phone numbers. Get on their email list. That's it. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Tomorrow, I will do a call. Okay, I'll film myself doing a call with an agent. I'm going to ask, this is my research. I don't know how to find something that can cash flow. I have some money. I'm committed to buying a property here in the next 60 days, 30 days. And I want to find something. Can you find me something or give me the right direction? Right? All right. So reach out to brokers, post in our community, ask for resources and things like that. And, it could be fun as you're looking at some of these deals. Drive around, look at the neighborhoods. From here on out, I want you to shift and change your relationship to what scares you. If something scares you and if something makes you uncomfortable and you want to delay it, you want to procrastinate, don't. All right. You need to change your relationship to what scares you. You need to be saying, at this time, I am going to call some brokers. Okay. I'm committed to partnering with someone. I'm going to call some people. I'm going to set up a call. I'm going to attend something. You need to take action. You got to take steps. You have to take steps that is going to force you to take action. All right. So even right now, just as you're watching this, if you made it this far, congratulations. But write down 1 or 2 things that you will have completed by 1 p.m. tomorrow. Okay. And we will come back tomorrow for day 4. All right. So I'm really excited for this journey. I kind of, now doing some research myself, I'm like, how am I going to find the property that cash flows? But we'll talk, you know what? Tomorrow we'll talk about strategies as well. All right, we'll talk about different strategies on how you can make money doing real estate. And then maybe you can put a couple different ones together and see if that's going to help your deal be better. See, this is just the most basic that we're looking at, is just buying a property, long-term rental. Usually those don't really make that much money, because the purpose of real estate, you got to understand, the purpose of real estate is not like I'm just buying a startup company and hopefully tomorrow it can turn $100 into $10,000. That's not happening. You're buying real estate to battle inflation and capture the back end appreciation. And you get some cash flow along the way. All right. So that's it for today. And so thank you so much for still being on this journey. And if you ever feel like you're losing momentum, join our live calls. You have to make sure you're there. I will post a link in there as well for the Rookie Roundtable. All right. So that's it then. I'll see you guys on tomorrow.